What is up, my loves? It's your girl Diamond, and I am having a PSA announcement to let y'all know I'm dropping Love and Marriage Detroit because it's gotten too chaotic, it's gotten too toxic and too confusing for me. I don't know if this season is going to be a 10 episode season because it is the first, but my mind is in an uproar. Okay, let me start off in the beginning of what my issue is. The beefs, the taking sides, the bandwagon, that's getting on my nerves because it's too stupid to jump on someone else's side over something so small. The nickname is whack, is lame. And using someone else's situations to disguise your actual feelings is annoying to me. Let me start off with Anthony and Latoya. Latoya, I like you as a doctor. You are about your business, but what you are annoying me is your inability to call out your husband. You have not corrected your husband in the instances that he has done in the beginning of the season. Your husband was the one who started the fight and the argument at Brandon's and Christina's anniversary. Courtesy of Brandon. Okay, he wanted Anthony to defend him as far as why Christina isn't allowing Brandon to reach that level of his success. You called her insecure. You went to bat for Brandon against his own wife. That was your fault. Latoya still never corrected you on how you had that situation, and that's making me mad. Second, your wine event, Latoya, when your husband again decided to go to bat for Brandon against Christina, why isn't Christina allowing for Brandon to do what he wants to do? Her friend Chelsea clocked his energy as to why he's so heavily invested in another man's marriage. It's weird to me. So you're arguing with another woman, calling her a bird, saying, Christina, you need to love yourself, ma'am. You're a boss. You can't have these people around you. Latoya, you had your head down the entire time looking embarrassed, but you never corrected your husband as to why he's arguing with the woman over his friend. That's something you never corrected him on, which is annoying me. Then we got the skating rink with Colby and Christina. They had their own issues of Christina not communicating with Colby about the collaboration deal. She's ghosting her. She's not calling her back. Knowing that Christina was going through a lot previous episodes with wondering where her marriage is going to go with Brandon. Colby was not that understanding at that point, and then when she didn't get the communication that she thought she would based off her friendship with Christina, she got upset. She got hyped. Christina was being passive aggressive by not completely outing and saying, I don't want to do this collaboration deal. I want to keep this for myself. But we couldn't get that because Brandon decided to stir the pot and called her a lame name because he's been throwing little nuggets out there by saying Kobe has copied Christina, wanted to copy everything she's been doing off of what instances he couldn't think of any. All he kept on doing is using the energy of her outing him out by not being honest with his wife that he signed another female artist, knowing that Brandon has a history of messing around with female artists. So that was his opportunity. You have a point, Dr. Latoya. Brandon has been stirring the pot, but the one person who you don't call out for stirring the pot is your husband. Let me get to Anthony. Anthony has been messy since the beginning of this season. I thought it was a little bit left field and a little bit fucked up that he was having meetings behind Brandon's back about the showcase. I think that Anthony used that Brandon was going through a lot in his marriage, and he did not communicate with Brandon about what has Brandon not been doing. What has Brandon not been on board with? Has he been lacking in areas of the showcase that Anthony had to step in and take over? Well, then that's something Anthony should have confronted Brandon about, but he didn't. He decided to go the cowardly route and just do everything without letting Brandon know what was going on. Hence why Brandon felt like you trying to take the showcase from me and make it about you because you don't feel respected. You don't feel like you're the man of the household because your wife holds the cars. Your wife wears the pants. Bravo is just there to co-sign on anybody else he wants to co-sign on. And just the episode before that I didn't review, Anthony was being messy by telling his publicist what Brandon told him about how he don't fool with her, which made no sense for him to do because Christina is getting back into the public eye and getting back to her brand, and she wanted to work with Brittany. Didn't know that she was also working for Anthony and Latoya. So when finding out that Brandon didn't like her, the publicist reached out to Christina to have a conversation as to why that happened. Christina decided to be messy and added Colby and Russell. I think she wants to do that based off of Anthony's past situations. Well, not past situations, past opinions about her and her marriage. So she wanted to place him in someone else's situation, which was messy for her to do. She lied and said that Colby and Russell was involved and that Anthony talked about them to the publicist, but the publicist clearly said Colby and Russell was not in that conversation. He specifically said you and Brandon. So Christina, you're a liar for that. That wasn't cool. That was very messy. We got to Colby and Christina's final meetup because trying to get, this situation under control. Colby was going off on a tangent, getting high pitched, crying, not letting Christina get a word in. I wanted, Colby to calm down and allow for Christina to give her peace, but she wouldn't. And I feel like Colby is projecting on what she doesn't get from her husband. Russell's inability to communicate is really getting on my nerves, and I don't know how much longer I can handle seeing Colby look so frustrated when she's constantly communicating to her husband to communicate with her, especially about this gym, especially about him avoiding telling her he's quitting his job to study to be an Army chaplain, meaning I want to learn how to become a pastor, but that's not what Colby wants to do. And she's worried about where her marriage is going to be because I don't want to be a minister's wife. I don't want to have that same straight childhood, straight lifestyle that I had when I was little. I don't want that for my child. And Russell don't care. Russell wants what Russell wants. He wants to be able to make all the decisions and have Colby just agree because he doesn't want to communicate with Colby. He doesn't want to view Colby as a partner, as his wife, as, hello, the co-star of this relationship, the co-star of this family. He doesn't want to recognize her. Like he said that she comes at him about the things he does and the way she comes at him. He finds it immature. He finds it childish because I'm telling you that you were wrong for not telling me you went to divinity school. I'm telling you that you're wrong about not telling me you had the idea of buying a gym without me knowing. I'm wrong for me wanting to do a walkthrough over a gym I still have not seen. I still have not spoken to the owner. I'm wrong for wanting to be involved in that. And Russ was looking at her like, I don't understand why I got to run this by you. I want you to just say, okay, but that's not going to work. That's annoying to me. And that's where Colby's projection was coming from when she wanted the communication with Christina. They finally squashed it, right? But I felt like it's not over, it's not done. Because when Christina finally said, I never said you was taking money from me, I've never said you copied me, that was from Brandon. LaToya and Colby feel like Christina told Brandon that at some point, but she never did. Let's flash back to the beginning of the season. Christina said, I've never felt like Colby has copied me. I've never felt like she has taken my ideas and use them as her own. I mean, we're both influencers. I'm setting trends. She's trending the trends that I'm setting. I'm a trend setter. So Christina has never felt like Colby has copied her in any shape, form, or fashion of being a content creator, being an influencer. That was Brandon. And Colby, you knew that. Christina knows that. We all know the real reason why he's adding that together is because he didn't like that you called him out for not being honest with his wife. That's why. Then we get to LaToya, who is constantly talking about, I don't like drama. I don't like public outbursts. I don't like this. I don't like that. But you know who keeps on bringing you drama that you say you don't like? Your husband. This past episode that I did not review, your husband was being extremely messy by meeting up with someone who has an issue with Brandon. The way that Anthony set up that scene to meet with Lyric about Brandon, he said, yeah, we're doing a showcase. It's going to be at Bravo's Lounge and your other friend is going to be there too, meaning Brandon. That's some messy shit there. The fact that he had to say your other friend, that's what females do. When they don't like somebody, they don't want to acknowledge somebody, they want to have an issue with somebody, they say, oh, that so-called friend of yours, oh, that other friend. That's what females do. And Anthony is a fucking female for doing that. It's like, how are you a grown-ass man and you are enjoying being messy in situations like this? Finding out that Christina actually has a voice. She has a beautiful singing voice. Lyric worked with Christina back in the day, in 2002, I believe. A song that he just happened to have ready to play. Because his issue with Brandon is Brandon don't know what's in front of him. Brandon don't know he got a star that he's married to, but he don't want to put her out there because Brandon is intimidated by his wife. Hence why he does things to bring her down because he don't feel fulfilled in what he has. He's lacking in what Christina have, confidence and talent. Okay? Find out that Christina is all that and then some. She's a fashion designer. She's an image consultant. She's a content creator. She is now a singer. Oh, Brandon can compete with that. Hence why he doesn't want her involved, because if there were word that Christina actually has a beautiful voice, all the attention will be on her, and he can't have that. He wants all the attention. Hence why he don't like being told what to do. He don't like being reminded what he's not doing. Shoot, speaking of Brandon don't like being told what to do, the past episode, Christina and Brandon had dinner to reconnect in their marriage, to start dating each other again. And he was never held accountable, to the point where Christina has had possible issues with the members of his family, and he didn't know he would have to defend his wife against his family. He never thought he had to. I felt like, what? The more and more I hear Brandon talk about what he didn't know that he had to do, I didn't know I had to do this, I didn't know I was supposed to do this. Brandon was not taught how to do anything at all. His mom dropped the ball on teaching him how to be accountable, teaching him how to be responsible, teaching him how to do a motherfucking thing. Because either the mom didn't know how to raise a son, or didn't know how to raise a biracial son, or she did not want to. Hence why Brandon don't like being held accountable, because he was never taught to accept accountability. He was never taught to communicate. The reason why Brandon don't express how he feels is because he never had that. Throughout the entire duration of their marriage, Christina has been holding him accountable the things that he's done, and he don't like it. He complains to someone else to listen to his woes and sorrows and pain, but the things he's done has been questionable. The things he's done has been hurtful. So Christina has dabbled being a mom to Brandon and also being a wife to Brandon. And she don't want to be a mom to him. She wants to be a wife to him. And he has to learn how to be a husband to her. That's what was bothering me. And I didn't like that he wanted to use that moment to shout in another restaurant or another open space, a public space, to shout out, this is my wife, this is the best wife in the world. I'm like, it will never not escape my mind that you caused your wife insecure in front of in front of a group of people and a cameraman. That will never escape me. During that of what's bothering me, Brandon is just an ain't shit ass man with a man bun. Okay, he is just annoying. He's just a sad, strange little man. I mean, he is such a weak-minded individual. He literally don't have nothing else for himself. He don't have a backbone. He don't have a spine. This man is literally shaking in his boots whenever he's around Russell. Because Russell said, I will break every bone in your body for what you did to my wife. And Brandon is literally on his best behavior to not get his ass whooped. I said, Brandon is not a man. He's a little boy. Especially when Christina preferred to him as a pit bull when it comes to wanting him to go to bat for her, protect her, defend her. He wondered what kind of dog was he beginning. A poodle, a chihuahua, little shih tzu. You weren't a Doberman. You weren't a Rottweiler. You weren't even a golden retriever. You were no near a strong defender as you should have been to your wife. You were nowhere near that, sir. Okay? Again, going off of what happened the last week and the week before, I feel like the end of my rant, probably slash review of everything that I've missed the last couple of weeks. Kobe and Latoya were headed to Christina's Shub and Pray brunch, because after her and Kobe have made up, she invited her to a Shub and Pray brunch, which is a part of a brand she's had since 2017, and she's getting back out there in the brand world to put her brand back out there, be back in the public eye. On the way there, Kobe is telling her about the conversation, letting her know her version. That's what Kobe said exactly, and how it ended with her blaming Brandon for him coming out saying that she's a Kobe cat, wondering why did she say that. And, just knowing that she has to talk to Brandon. But she's not going to say nothing to Brandon until Russell is there with her, knowing how Brandon tends to be mute whenever there's another man involved because he's weak. But after that, she ends up telling Latoya of why did she call Russell about the publicist, saying that Anthony said some things to the publicist about Kobe and Russell, which we know that's not true. Christina lied about that. And Latoya is all fired up. Okay, she didn't like that her husband is involved in mess, and also is adding on to Christina's passive aggressiveness, her manipulation, her telling lies about my husband is me questioning her, because I don't like my husband's character being questioned like that. So she's going back and forth with wondering, should she confront Christina or should she wait? But for some odd reason, Latoya, you're so busy trying to tell somebody else to call you if there is an issue At this moment, you could have called Christina after the event if you wanted to know why she said that, but you used the preacher's message about not letting demonic energy, demonic spirits come in you. Don't let the devil into your heart, into your circle, all this and that third. Trust me, the pastor's message was spot on, but you feeling the Holy Spirit and using that to confront Christina, it didn't sit well with me. There could be another way for you to not have confronted her in that setting, because that was her event, but this is still to me your inability to confront Christina on your actual issue, because you still have not confronted Christina about what happened at your wine event. Because yes, Christina and Brandon did argue your event, but if my memory serves me correctly, while they were arguing, Christina was about to leave. You told her to stay, and the entire time you telling her to stay, your husband's over there consoling Brandon, and while consoling Brandon, before that he was arguing with another woman. So Latoya, you can avoid confronting your husband's infatuation with Brandon all you want to by only placing Christina and Brandon as the focal point of all the drama and mess, but you can't say Christina and Brandon have been the drama this entire time without saying your husband have been involved in that drama too. That's the problem that I have with you. Because confronting her about questioning your husband's character is one thing, but you still have confronted her about what happened at your event. And I know you can't do that without adding your husband into it. So you don't have the ability to only call her out without calling your husband out. You want to call her out about questioning your husband's character, about the publicist. And I didn't like the way you approached the conversation about, I heard that you said some things, and I know what you said, and da 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 da. It's just like, if you know everything that's been said, come out with everything that was said, so I can tell you what I said. Y'all were both going back and forth with not explaining what was said, you not mentioning what was said, the details of what was said. Christina, you know what you said, you lied. Latoya, you know what she said, and you want to call out, see what she's going to admit to it. Yes, call beat to the carpet. Call breed to the carpet. I cannot believe the publicist has more camera time than everybody else. Because I feel like this is some bunch of messy stuff. Nothing has completely happened where the publicist did anything yet. This is all about someone not liking her, which is not that deep to me. And Latoya, you lost me when you wanted to brag about your credentials of studying human behavior. I went to college for 8 years for this. Girl, I don't care. I don't care if you went to college or not. I don't care. You're saying how you want to study people's behaviors and study people's movements. Question that to your husband. Question your husband's movements and behavior, because that's a questionable behavior right there. Okay. Christina, you were passive aggressive, even though there were moments where I was here for it, because you're not about to confront me at my event. But Latoya, you all about no drama, no public outbursts, but you are at a public event questioning someone. I feel like all y'all do get back to one another. You Latoya just don't want to admit that you follow the same patterns everybody else does. And that's pretty much my issue with you all together. Next episode is supposed to be the group trip. They supposed to go to a retreat to reconnect as a couple and reconnect in the friend group. Christina, you might have to just admit that you wanted to lie. You wanted to lie and cause a ruckus because you was tired of Anthony causing a ruckus in your relationship. I don't know, but this is a bunch of mess. This is why I am done reviewing this show. I'll probably still watch it, but I won't review it. Probably take a peek at the reunion to see if everybody's gonna admit to the part that they played in. And check, what's your name, Carlos? Yeah, scrap Love and Marriage Detroit. It'll never be what Love and Marriage Huntsville is. Still waiting on DC. Don't know when we're ever gonna get it, but y'all, that's it. That's my rant, and that's my reason. See y'all later. Bye.